Voltron Network.
I hate that.
I'm going to leave the meeting. You cannot record me.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I'm Idris Antonio.
And I am Mo.
Yo, what's going on, man? Another week.
Man, I am super excited today. Today, we're going to talk about a film that I've been wanting to see some glimpses for a long, long time now. And I'm sure you know exactly which one it is.
Tell them what we're going to be doing today, Mo.
We are going to be talking about The Eternals. The trailer dropped yesterday, unexpectedly. I feel so sorry for the two films that dropped their trailers today.
Don't just focus on everything else. Come on. What else we're reviewing
We're going to be talking about the MODOK.
Uh-huh.
And we're also going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Indeed. Plus the usual movie, TV news. So, let's get to it. Mo, what have you been watching?
You know what? I actually watched a great deal in the last week or so. I did start to catch up on Superman and Lois. So on one episode it's just come back.
I ask you whether you're actually still watching it.
Because it's been on hiatus, because I think they've had like COVID issues. So they've just come back now for the next batch of episodes. So I'm just catching up with that.
How far in there? They're like 5 or 6 by now?
I think there are 6 episodes, and I think I've watched 5 of them. So I've got like one more to watch.
Still liking it?
You know what? I was watching it last night, and I think, you know what? This is actually not bad. Because the visuals and stuff, you really forget that you're watching a CW show. It does look more expensive than your regular kind of show. And I actually do like the dynamic of the kids, where you've got one kid who's got no superpower, who was the golden child, and the other one who's now got some form of superpower, and who was the one who couldn't function like in society, and the roles have now completely split.
Is he still an obnoxious prick?
Well, all children are, like, to a certain degree, really, aren't they?
So I'll take that as a yes then. Jeez. Not making me
I am kind of enjoying it. They are really taking their time to go into like the actual main bad guy, who's come from like another reality. So yesterday there was a little bit more. You find out about the fact that he's quite closely related to Lois in his in his dimension. So I think that's going to be like a very interesting premise.
Okay.
And on top of that, I also watched on Saturday night. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this. You're probably going to be laughing at this, but I thought it was a great film. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Someone recommended that to me. And they were saying it's a really great rom-com. And I was like, I do enjoy a good rom-com, but I don't know if I'd call any of them, apart from My Sassy Girl, great. Man, I laughed at this film so much. Kate Hudson really dials up the crazy in this.
Dude, yeah, those sort of rom-coms in the early 2000s, even the bad ones, were actually kind of fun.
Yeah, they were. A lot of them were. Yeah. But this one I think is really good.
Why can't they make them anymore though? I don't get that. You don't see these getting made no more.
It's no, you still get loads of rom-coms. They're just not as good.
And they're just Netflix things that they just throw on there. It's like,
yeah, it's. I mean, this one was really good because of the deal or the bet that these two had, right? Which basically countered each other, which made it just made it hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go out and say I would give this a 3.5. I would highly recommend it if you've never seen it. If you want a good date night movie, this is a good one. Even if you're just on your own on a Saturday night and want a good giggle, this is also a good one for that. Yeah. And other than that, I've just been steamrolling through 30 Rock and Friends, which is going. Oh, and obviously I watched the rest of Be Foreigners, so I don't know where we put that into the conversation.
We can talk about that. So,
yeah,
what do you feel about it now that you've completed it? How do you feel? What about you see what I was saying, where there was more little things that they were adding into it that was going to happen? Like with the blonde girl. The
twist at the end just came out of nowhere.
But did you figure out that the blonde girl had gone back and then came back?
Yes, well, no. Only got it right at the end when they really spell it out.
Yeah, but they gave it away. Her teeth were rotten. You could tell, and she was speaking the ancient language as well. So it was kind of obvious straight away that she'd gone back.
Yeah, but it's kind of they don't really spell that portion out, do they? She's gone back, but then she came back in an instant.
Yeah, in our time, but you know how time travel works.
Yeah, but it's kind of what's the thinking behind that? because no one knows how this whole thing works. Although they are alluding to the fact that actually scientists may know more than they're letting on.
Yeah, that it's a two-way door. But yeah, I think what you're alluding to is like, what's the catalyst of them of the time travel? Are they just being zapped and then appearing in the water? Like it's a weird.
Yeah. And she's gone, but she doesn't seem to have dramatically aged in that time either. So how's her teeth all rotted, actually?
Yeah, you'd think that would be like a decade at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because she seems to have like met this guy, she knows where the sword is, all this sort of stuff has happened. So she's obviously been gone for a while.
Yeah.
But it's are they then saying some people like have not mental issues, but like memory problems?
She's a teenage girl in love. She went back, fell in love, and that's where her heart is and her home is. She don't belong in the modern world no more because she's in love. You know how it goes, man. Come on.
And then you also found out that a similar twist for the main detective.
Yeah, that she's not even a Viking. That she actually came from the modern age. That's fucking crazy.
That's messed up, man. That's proper messed up. When I saw all that stuff, I was like, no, I want the next season now. Yeah.
You think they wrapped up the whole drug issue that the detectives had kind of neatly? Or do you think he's still going to struggle in season 2?
I think they are setting him up to struggle a little bit, but I think that will probably get written out really quickly.
Yeah, they seem to deal with it quick.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a made-up drug. I can't imagine like a drug taker like taking drugs like through their eyeballs.
Yeah, like you could take. There are things you could take, like
I don't know about those sort of things, Eddie. You seem to know a lot about that.
But no. That's all kind of completely made up. But it's a cool show, though, isn't it? You actually kind of
No, it was. I did really enjoy that. I kind of thought like the whole murder mystery aspect seemed to have just suddenly out of nowhere. They seemed to just like clean it all up together and wrap it up and stuff like that. But from what I'm hearing, the second season actually they may be going a little bit bigger. They're actually maybe exploring some other countries as well that are. Well,
that's the cool thing. Like this could be a show that, in theory, you could just franchise it out like CSI. You could just, because it's a global event, you could just have a UK version of it, of what happened there, an American version. Like, I'll be curious how this...
And then actually reference the events from other countries.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that would affect in different societies. So, you never know, man.
Oh, they've actually built, you know how they do it with reality shows like Dancing with the Stars and The Voice. Yeah. They've just done it with a sci-fi show now.
Yeah, thumbs up. Foreigners, go check it out, guys. If you've never seen it.
Go check it out, guys. Highly rated. Even if you don't like subtitle shows, just make an exception.
Yeah, why not? This is it.
I think that is about it for all the stuff that I've been watching.
I didn't watch a lot. This actual one that I saw was actually last week, but I just forgot to mention it. Sex, Robots, and shit. What was it called again? You know the title, the Netflix animated show.
No. Was it Death, Kill, and Robots or something?
Death, Sex, Robot, something like Death, Sex. How can I forget it, man? The animated anthology series. I love season 1, so I was really excited for season 2. And there's some real good stories. Actually, I enjoyed all of them. The only issue is, and I think this is a general criticism a lot of people are giving this season 2, is that season 1 was 18 episodes. So you really got to just enjoy these different stories and these sprawling tales from different places and different styles of animation. It's only 8 episodes this season. So completely...
Yeah, wasn't the first season quite short as well?
No, 18. There was 18
stories. There were 18 stories in there. Yes, you sure about that?
I went back and checked. There's 18 stories.
Are you sure you weren't like adding the first season and the second season together?
I checked. See, even though I've told you that I checked, you're still gonna check because you don't believe me. You don't trust me.
No. I'm just fact checking, making sure that the listeners don't email us and saying you lot are chatting rubbish all the time. Go on, carry on speaking.
Yeah.
Was each it's called Love, Death and Robots? Was each episode like, did it have like different like animation like the first season, or was it like the
same formula, different animation from different places around the world, different styles completely. One of them is actually live action with a Michael B. Jordan. It looks like the filler episode in a sci-fi, like a Battlestar Galactica episode. where you're like stuck in one place, but it's still pretty damn good. They're all good.
Yeah, there actually were a lot of episodes in season 1.
Yeah, there's just not enough of them because I really enjoyed getting lost in it with season 1. So I really enjoyed that. So just having 8 episodes with this one, it just as soon as you kind of really get into it, it's just done. It's ended.
But is it 8 good episodes?
I enjoyed all the stories. All of them completely different from the other. They've nailed it. Uncanny Valley. They've cracked it. There's one movie in there, one animated. Well, obviously, except for one all animated, but there's one sci-fi one where you will struggle. If I played it to you and I didn't tell you that this was CG, you wouldn't have figured it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go and have a look at that because I think we are going to talk about that a little bit later with the Resident Evil trailer.
Yeah, that's the other end of the Uncanny Valley spectrum. Those faces are rubber as fuck. Like the latest, we'll wait till we get to it. Well, but it's worth checking out. But it's a shame it had to be so short. And they said that
ration yourself.
They said that they've got season 2 on the way, so maybe they just decided to split and spread it out a bit. But still fun.
This was season 2, though, wasn't it?
I mean, no, season 3.
Season 3.
They've got season 3 in the works.
I think what we are actually seeing with Netflix at the moment is they actually, for a lot of shows, they may be splitting them the second season or a season like over 2 periods. I guess the whole COVID thing is probably starting to catch up with them.
Yeah, and I checked out a TV show which somehow, Mo, has passed us by. Now, I didn't play the reaction, our little mini review of the trailer last week, because I figured that it deserved to be, I wanted to actually catch up with it and, to really get context for this trailer. Remember the one where it's the guys that have gone to Japan?
Oh, yes. Okay, you're going to say the same thing as I am now, right?
Yeah. Had no idea that this was a TV show that's very popular, has won awards. There's like a shit ton of there's 5 seasons of this show. It's a UK show. Yeah. Completely missed it. How have we not known about this more?
I only stumbled across that fact watching a video about something else. And they mentioned it on there. I think it was. I think somebody was. The US were remaking. There was a US attempt to remake the show. That's where I stumbled across this. Yes.
Oh, because they don't really have the equivalent to this.
I'll send you a link because a guy actually found. It was an Amazon project. They filmed a pilot. It hasn't been broadcasted because they dropped it. But I'll send you the link because there is footage in there that he managed to find. So if you watch the show and then watch this, apparently, like he really goes into depth about the difference between the characters and all that kind of stuff.
It would have to be completely different, the culture of it, because they don't have that equivalent.
Yeah,
the music's just but I've been watching it. People just do nothing.
It's good because I was planning to watch it.
It starts a little. It needs to get going, but I'm a couple episodes in, and once it establishes, it has the Office style of docu filmmaking, but of this pirate radio station that these guys that are still trying to make garage music in 18 or wherever however many years ago this show started. So he's even out of date when it starts, but it is pretty fun. It is pretty funny. Worth checking out.
I will check that out. Absolutely. I will put that on my list. And
it makes me look forward to the film even more. But it's crazy.
See, and you didn't see last week. You didn't even want to watch the trailer of that film.
It's so crazy. It's so mad. Like, how did we miss this?
Well, it just goes to you probably don't watch anything on the BBC like me, right? We literally don't see the adverts. We don't talk to people who watch stuff on the BBC.
Yeah, we've transitioned out of watching TV. Like, we don't watch TV anymore. It's all online.
Yeah, all streaming. So
you do miss shit when you do that, unless people on Netflix pick things up. That's pretty much it. I've still been watching Veronica Mars and bits and bobs, but that's all the main shit.
Right, shall we talk quickly about MODOK?
Yes. Do you watch the whole season?
How many episodes? No. How many episodes did you watch?
I watched a lot.
You watched a lot?
All 10.
Oh!
All 10 because I figured it was expected that we'd have to. That's the whole point of us doing a review of it.
I'm surprised you managed to get past the first episode.
I struggled. I was not happy for the first 2 episodes at all because I
Yeah.
was thinking this isn't good. I even saw a review that said this is the best Marvel TV show that they've made. I'm thinking, really? But I feel like it does find its feet by episode 3. It kind of gets going a bit better, but still, it doesn't quite. I take it you weren't too into it either.
I struggled to get through the first episode.
Is that what we watched?
Even by the end of the first episode, I was like, "What the hell just happened here?" The frenetic pace of it makes it it was difficult for me to like keep up with what was going on.
Really?
I'm glad to hear that it actually gets better, but by the end of the episode, I was just like, "What have I just watched?"
Yeah, I didn't experience that. My issues with it was that it just wasn't funny. Yeah. And considering that it's by the same guys that make Robot Chicken, and I don't really watch Robot Chicken religiously, but kind of when I do occasionally dip in and out of it, it's a funny little show. So this really kind of disappointed me.
But does it get better after the first 2 episodes?
Better than the first 2 episodes. Yeah, it finds a story starts to evolve that kind of carries on through the season, and there are little moments where it actually gets kind of heartfelt, to be honest. But yeah, even the ending, it's actually very much holy shit, it went there. Wow.
Oh, so I've got to now watch it to go and see the ending. It's only got a 6.3 at the moment on IMDb.
It's just not funny.
Yeah, right. Should we get on to the big blockbuster for last week?
Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. You started, Samuel.
Right. So I've heard a lot of things online about this. I'm actually quite surprised by the things I'm reading online. People have been very, very harsh with this film. And for a change, I'm going to be the complete opposite for a Zack Snyder film. I actually enjoyed watching this film. It's a tad bit long. But like for pure bang for buck Friday night for something that's free on Netflix, I can't complain, right? It had all the elements. It looked gorgeous, lots of violence, lots of great special effects, some funny moments in there. There was some stuff that was very, very obvious. And they did something new with the zombies. Like how many zombie films are you going to watch in your lifetime where they actually try to do something different?
It does what it says on the tin, but there was periods in the middle of it where I was zoning out, where I was reaching for my phone, thinking like, this is missing something. I still feel that way at the end, but I don't hate it. Like, it's entertaining, but it isn't nowhere near as good as what was the remake he did, Dawn of the Dead?
Oh, Dawn of the Dead in the shopping center.
Yeah, not as good as that. And I think that's because they focused too much on the smart zombies and kind of neglected the regular zombies, where a lot of the tension in zombie movies comes from those zombies, from that sort of slow creeping, being trapped in. Yeah,
they didn't actually seem like a threat right up until the end of the film.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like they were just up against a gang of crazy people. That's what it kind of seemed like. Rather than zombies.
I did like the idea of the alpha zombies, right? Because it kind of seemed like there was you had the alpha, the first one, and then you had like the ones that he spawned, which also seemed to inherit, and then you had the ones that obviously down the lines of succession they were just regular zombies, right? And the fact that he had a queen who he could impregnate and actually have a child, you've actually got like an actual zombie race now.
That was a wasted storyline because it was never referenced by anyone else who wasn't that no one else knew about it except for the zombies. So it just seemed I wanted that. What, zombies can reproduce? No one ever had that conversation.
So they're an actual race now, right? Of like,
well, no, it's dead now. Well, they seem to be the only two.
Hold on, but you're born undead. You're born dead.
Now we never know because it's dead. It's gone.
Yeah, but there is like a prequel and a cartoon prequel or whatever coming.
Yeah, it frustrated me. I know it's just a movie, but the decisions like Batista's daughter, Ella Purnell, just basically got everyone killed. to save her friends.
So I do not understand. Like there were a few things like that. So she just runs off at the end, right, with no idea where to go,
realizing that everyone's gonna have to come and help her, and that's just gonna fuck everybody out, which she did. And in the end, she didn't give a shit about her friend because the helicopter crashed. Spoilers, because who gives a fuck? Helicopter crashed, and did she look for a friend? Did we see the friend survive? No, it was all pointless.
The thing with that particular storyline is, unless you've been to Vegas, which I have. You have no idea the scale of those hotels. So the fact that you could like just wander around a hotel that's basically deserted and actually bump into someone you're looking for is nigh on impossible.
Forget that. When they're in the helicopter, where it's just Batista and the pilot, and he says, "How long have we got until the nuclear bomb gets dropped?" 8 minutes. So he has to get the helicopter to land. He has to go and look for his daughter and then get back to the helicopter. And they're supposed to clear Vegas in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, in a fully functioning hotel where the lifts and everything were working, I reckon you'd struggle to get from top to bottom in 9 minutes.
No, it would take 8 minutes still to just land the fucking helicopter, man. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Talking of like Tig Notaro.
Yeah, Tig.
I couldn't see it, but like lots of people said it's really obvious that you can see the green screen.
There was one shot where I noticed it early on when they're like a group of them walking together from the side.
Yeah.
Or maybe it been posing, but yeah, you could see that she looked weird. But beyond that, I never really noticed anything else.
I did love her reaction, right? So I think this was quite obvious. You know, when they first enter the zombie zone, and that I need to talk about as well because that just seemed madness. You know, like how the blonde chick just shoots the security guard. I could see that coming from a mile off, right? You just see Tig Notaro, the camera is just focusing on her, and as you're hearing him saying like, "You're a molester, you abuse women," you just see her like put a gun down, and she just goes. That reaction was brilliant.
Yeah, curiosity in me does feel like what Chris D'Elia would have brought. Just out of curiosity, just to see how he would have portrayed it, because I like him as a comedian, so it would have been curious.
I do wonder if they changed the script a lot for her, because a lot of the film she's by herself, and I wonder if that was done on purpose, right?
Well, maybe, but they're comedians. Maybe it was written that way for Chris to improv, and maybe they just let her do the same.
Yeah. What did you think about the way they actually get into Vegas? Because that seemed like it was just a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah,
it's just two little doors, like blocking like the entire hoarding army.
So you're the only person who can sneak them in this obvious way that anybody can access? Like, what?
Did you notice they didn't even close those doors? Like, I was watching that. I was like, there's a shot where they've all left, and you can see the doors are just open in the background. And you're like,
yeah. But even beyond that, I figured there's no filler in between these containers. So I'm thinking this must be. I used to work in a place where there was shipping containers all over the place, so there's always gaps. You can never lay them things, to a point where you can't get paper for them. So the fact that contained all the zombies, but we're nitpicking, guys. Overall, there was some fun action. Batista was good. I actually say I wasn't expecting Batista to be as decent. Outside of Drax, I haven't really liked Batista's performances in movies. Actually, no, Blade Runner was good, but no, he was actually pretty good in this. I liked him. He was heartfelt.
I thought the German guy was pretty good.
Yeah, he was
the safe cracker.
Yeah. Did you get a vibe of Aliens, the second one? Because it kind of had that vibe to me of the soldiers all together.
Because they're trying to steal the head.
But even like Aliens, you got the one guy who's trying to sabotage it to bring one back. Yeah. It's got all of the elements, and even even got the Latina chick with a headband as well, who's like super tough, shooting everybody.
I actually, you know what? I don't kind of get. I do see where you're going now that you say it. It's not something that I noticed though when I watched the film.
But then again, you only saw Aliens pretty recently, innit? So it's not ingrained in your DNA.
I gotta say, but I do get what you're saying. I can see the parallel.
What's sad though with Ana de la Reguera, when after confessing her love to Batista, to say that we should give this a try. Literally seconds after, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do this." Crack.
I don't know. I don't know whether to be sad or laugh at that, to be honest.
Again, all because of the daughter. Because they were on their way to go get us. Like,
Oh yeah,
fucking-
exactly. Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Did you notice? I certainly didn't. I only read about this afterward. Did you notice the Snyder cut Easter egg?
No.
Right. So, because this film was actually made before the Snyder cut, before we got in to get in there and do this.
Yeah.
You know that big vault that they open. When apparently when you open the vault, there is something there, like there is a reel of film, and it's got on there the Snyder cut.
Okay.
And he goes, he made the joke that it's basically going to get locked in the vault forever.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I did the only the real criticism of this film is like the whole conceit of the heist, or the real reason for the heist. Like they didn't care about the money.
Yeah.
So the guy who was charged with retrieving the head, like why double cross everybody before you're out of there?
Stupid. Dumb. You know, the head's hidden. It's in the bag.
Or so he thought.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it just that was satisfying. Though, seeing that tiger. I like the fact that they explained the tiger, saying that it was one of Siegfried and Roy's tigers. That was a good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a dumb decision, real dumb. And it does
Very
the trope, the zombie trope. And it used the character that I was kind of liking up to that point. At the very end, it has the one person who's been bit that hides that they've been bit, and basically, when you think you've contained the infection, there's always a one motherfucker that just knowingly just takes it out and infects, the rest of the world.
Everyone, yeah.
And he's there on the plane. Fuck.
I'm assuming if they do a sequel, it's like the zombie outbreak in Mexico City, then, right? Did you not think the idea of dropping a nuke on Vegas just didn't seem like the right tact? Because surely, A, you don't want nuclear fallout. B, surely once it's contained, you just set the whole place on fire.
Fire seemed the more logical.
Yeah.
Yeah, like napalm. You dig out the recipe from where you had left over from Vietnam and just like napalm everything.
Yeah. But you don't want to drop like a nuclear bomb like on your own country, right? Where that fallout just goes like for years and years.
It is Nevada. It is Nevada desert, and they have been dropping nukes in Nevada for decades, man. So, yeah. I guess Las Vegas is a write-off at that point. So fuck it.
Yeah. Like I said, like a fine, entertaining 3-star film.
Yeah. 3 stars. Yeah, I say that. Hoped it would be a little better, but yeah, not too bad. So now, trailers.
Should we get into the trailers? Quite a few trailers have dropped in the last week, so let's rattle through some of these quite quickly.
Before we get
Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City.
I was going to say, before we get deep into it, there's one that I forgot to mention. Yeah. Did you see the Wonder Years one?
The Wonder Years?
Yeah, the new Wonder Years.
The reboot?
Yep.
Why do you wait till if it's not on my list? I haven't seen it.
I forgot about it. But you can't watch it. It's pretty short. But yeah, it's based in the 60s with a black family. And I'm thinking, Wonder Years is supposed to be a happy, optimistic show. Innocence. You got a black family in the 60s. That show has to be depressing as fuck.
All right, hold on. So let me play it then. Hold on, I've just found it. That little kid looks uncannily like Don Cheadle as a child. In that baseball, that last shot, I think that Don Cheadle probably looked like that when he was a child. The Wonder Years was never an actual, even though it is labeled a comedy, it was never actually like a funny comedy.
No, but it is more heartfelt and innocent. There's a pleasantness to it. I don't know. I find it hard that I guess they could just be oblivious to a lot of the issues of the time, but I doubt they will be, because you don't base it in the 60s without knowing that you're going to have to address a bunch of stuff.
It's a bit odd to set it in the 60s, right? Because you think we're in the 2020s now. Why not base it like in the 90s?
Yeah.
Hold on, the video right under that. The Wonder Years reboot is being race swapped into the racist years.
Oh, there you go. It's already started.
Oh, right.
So yeah, Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, Netflix official trailer. Yeah, it's ridiculous how wooden the faces look, considering the most recent Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8, looks better than graphically than what they've done with this trailer. It's just kind of funny.
It's not just how bad the fake. Well, I say bad is a really bad example because they don't look bad, right?
Expressionless.
Yeah, they've
They
gone for that
don't move.
real. They've gone for that real like hyper realistic look.
They don't move. That's the problem.
They don't move. But the problem now is, do you remember like in the early 2000s when they started doing a lot of story-based games, or games started including lots of story, and how bad the acting was?
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. Like, the acting on this was terrible.
Which is why it's hilarious that this is a Capcom co-production and they kind of haven't used the same team that they used to do the games to do all that stuff. But putting that aside, the overall story seems, look, it could be interesting. I haven't always loved Resident Evil animated movies, but I'll give this a go. Looks like
I think I'm going to struggle with this one. I might watch one episode, but I think I will struggle.
Is it actual series? I thought it was like a movie.
I think I'm assuming it's a series.
I thought it was a movie.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I'm just trying to find it on Netflix. That doesn't really tell you. It just tells you it's a project.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's no season 1 or anything. It's just, I think it's just a movie.
It could be then. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So.
Right. Next on the list.
I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Rurouni Kenshin.
I was waiting for you to do that because I knew I was going to pronounce it wrong.
Series that you haven't completed. You watched the first one.
I've watched the first one. So I've actually since gone and got the second and the third film. So I am planning now that in this whole martial arts phase, I now want to watch these films.
Yeah, I enjoy these thoroughly. And I heard that they were doing a fourth one. Seemed weird at first. Like you completed a trilogy. Everyone loved it. But now they're going back to the beginning.
Well, this is actually a second one because there's a part 1 and this is like part 2.
Oh, I've missed.
Yeah.
So this is like the 5th one.
Yeah, so there's already one out. And I don't know if there's actually a 2 out plus this. I think there's actually quite a few of these films in this series. Like even though the third one is called like The End or The Final or something like that, it's they then go. It's like the Friday the 13th films. Like part 4 was like the final Friday, and there's like fucking 7 films afterwards.
Because they're just so popular. But what I like about this is that unlike any other Japanese film that seems to be getting made now, it still has production value, which you don't see a lot in Japanese films anymore, which I don't know why. They used to be so good. Japanese horror films were awesome. But then they just suddenly started shooting everything on fucking camcorders and mobile phones, and it just looks like shit. But this still looks beautiful.
Does look good, yes.
They haven't cut the budget or anything, so yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up to all of these now.
Looking forward to. Obviously, I don't understand a lot of what's going on because I've obviously got 4 other films to watch to understand that. But looking forward to that. Then we've got so obviously the new TV season is coming up shortly in the autumn. So obviously a lot of the studios are now starting to put out teasers for some of their shows. And we've got another show, a British show that's been remade for American audiences called Ghosts. Again, one I've never heard of.
This looked funny.
It
This actually look. At first, I'm thinking, what the hell is this? And it actually kind of took a little turn. I'm thinking, okay, this could be entertaining.
Yeah, it's the premise is so this couple inherit like this massive like house, like an old manor or something, right?
Yeah.
And they decide they want to turn it into a hotel or a bed and breakfast or something. And this place is actually haunted by ghosts who are really unhappy. Yeah, a ton of them, and they're really unhappy that these people are here, and the fact that they're trying to turn this into a hotel.
I wonder if they can explain how the hell a Viking got into an old American house.
So the Vikings did actually visit the Americas.
I've heard this story. Yes.
Long before. Yes, so, they just failed to like claim it as a land or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine how different that could have been.
Very much so.
Imagine they could all be speaking like Norwegian. So that looks very, very interesting. We've then also got another show, this time from Fox, called Welcome to Flatch, which is the mockumentary style that The Office, Parks and Recs, and that other one, Modern Family.
Man, people do nothing.
Oh yeah. So that whole thing has just become a genre on its own now. Sean William Scott
Yep.
At first, I couldn't. When I was watching the trailer, I couldn't just realize whether it was actually an actual documentary about a small town in America.
Come on.
And then, like after a minute, I was like, as soon as I saw Sean William Scott with like as a priest, I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. This is gonna be funny.
I just think people act so goofy for that to be real.
Well, it's a small town America, so you actually there is a certain degree of goofiness that you would expect.
Man, I think Borat did expose some of that. But yeah, Aya Cash is in this as well. Last scene in The Boys.
Yeah.
As a nasty hero. But yeah, it looked good.
Yeah,
it did look pretty good.
Yeah.
My only apprehension is that there's so much other stuff I got to watch. Like, have you heard of a show called Miracle Workers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just released a trailer for season 3, and it's a show that has the same 4 cast members: Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh, hold on. What's that guy called? Steve Buscemi.
Oh yeah.
And the Indian guy from the Deadpool movies, the one who's the cab driver, and the woman. And it's supposed to be this. It's like a really highly rated show. Season 1, they're like angels. Every season has a different premise.
Right.
Season 1, they're like angels, and Buscemi's God, and it's kind of they break the third wall, the fourth wall, where they talk to the audience, all of that. But then the Second World War, it's in their Edwardian times, and now this current season is going to be like the Midwest. And actually, I was watching the trailers, and it looks good. And I'm thinking, there's 3 seasons of this, or about to be 3 seasons. How is this show, with all the people that are in it, just kind of sailed past us?
Just goes to show you there is so much stuff out there at the moment that there is a real discoverability problem now.
It's ridiculous. Like, how are we supposed to know about this? People are obviously watching it because they're getting renewed for new seasons. So, it's fucking crazy. But I'm gonna have to jump into this. This may
are these half-hour episodes, or are they?
I'm not sure how long they are. I haven't jumped in, but I think this week season 1's gonna be to watch. I think it's only like 7 or 10 episodes in season 1, so I think I might have to burn through that one this week.
I'm just reading the synopsis of the first episode, right? To prevent Earth's destruction, Craig, a low-level angel responsible for handling all of humanity's prayers, and fellow angel Elsa, must answer a seemingly impossible prayer. Help 2 humans, Laura and Sam, fall in love.
And then season 2, completely different premise. They're not angels anymore. It's like set in the medieval days or whatever, and I think Paul Buscemi's like the town shit shoveler, and that's his like role, and it's like some mad shit. It's just crazy. I don't know how the fuck, but
yeah, they're 20-minute episodes, 21 minutes. Yeah, I actually might check out a few of this week.
Yeah, Miracle. Let's do it. All
right. Next on the list, we have The Cleaning Lady.
I'm predicting
iffy on this one.
Same here, but I'm predicting we could have people, maybe not a big fuss, but considering that we're at a point in time now where people want ethnic roles to be filled by the people of that culture, to have this Mexican cleaning lady to be cast by a British, half Asian actress who isn't Mexican in any way. I think she's like half Cambodian, born in France. Remember, she's from Deadpool. Elektra.
Hold on, I'm just trying. Hold on.
Remember Elektra in Deadpool? Netflix. Netflix. You were in love with her. You said she was so gorgeous. How have you forgotten already, Mo?
Oh, Elektra. I thought you were saying Deadpool for a minute.
I probably did say Deadpool.
Oh right. Oh yes. Oh
Daredevil.
Yes. Daredevil. She's from the film with what's his name? I just watched it recently. The Hitman's Bodyguard. She's the main detective. Well. Yeah. Oh, I do love her. Oh, now I don't even recognize her.
How can you not? She's not wearing any different makeup. But the fact that she's like not Mexican in any way, is that going to be an issue? Considering, don't give a shit for us, but I mean, just in the general.
Hold on. To most people, she's foreign, right?
That's the thing. Like, given how things are nowadays, and everything has to be, of the culture. Someone going to complain that, Latin actresses.
Yeah, that does actually seem like a really bad decision on like the. I'm not saying that it's a bad decision. I'm just saying it sounds like it's going to be a bad decision for that showrunner because they're going to get a lot of flack.
Yeah, and it all thought out thing that,
Yeah.
But beyond that, it seems
It kind
Yeah.
of seems like it's a network show that has got a great premise, but running for 22 episodes a season, they're gonna like run that premise into the
Into the
ground pretty
ground.
quickly.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Let's skip the next one because that's the
Right.
big one.
Okay. Right. So two
Gunpowder
more before we get to
Milkshake.
the big one. So Gunpowder Milkshake trailer drop
Love that. I
today.
love that name. Love that name.
My God. This could have almost been trailer of the week. Almost.
Yeah.
We have got Karen. Is it Gilligan or Gillian? Gilligan. It is Gillian. Gillian.
Gillian.
You reckon it's Gillian? And Carla Gugino. Gagino. Well, we're really bad at pronouncing names here. And we're not
Lena
taking
Headey. I know that one.
Lena Headey, yes.
Met her a
yes,
bunch of
yes.
times, so I
And
remember her name.
Angela Bassett, who just never seems to bloody age.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's not forget the lady of the moment, Michelle Yeoh, who just seems to be
Okay.
everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool, man. Karen Gillan plays a daughter of an assassin. A mother, Lena Headey, abandoned her when she was 12 years old, and Karen Gillan was raised by the guild that Lena Headey would belong to. So she is being raised to be an assassin, and now she's in the process of doing a hit. She gets acquires the care of this young kid who she can't bear to abandon, and she wants to protect. The guild turn on her, and then she needs to go and find her mum. And her mum is part of this little crew of assassins, so all Angela Bassett and all of them, called the Librarians. Which I fucking love.
It seems very heavily inspired by John Wick here, which is not a bad thing, right? I don't really care about that.
Yeah, the style of the action is very John Wickish. So it seems to be all
What's
these women.
that? It's the fact that there's a whole guild and all that kind of stuff of like assassins. I don't care about that. I remember being in a cinema and watching the trailer for the Birds of Prey trailer, right? And I remember saying to the person I was with, who was female, that looks rubbish, and she was very much like, "Oh, you're only saying that because it's all female." This is an all-female action film, and this looks terrific.
It looked fun. The action looked killer.
Yeah,
and it's Netflix, so we ain't got to wait a long time.
Oh no! It's Netflix in the USA.
Oh,
everywhere else it's coming out on the cinema.
Well, yeah, but Mo, you know, me and you, we have our special access. So if it's going to be on Netflix, then fuck it, we'll get it straight.
You know what? Actually, I actually wouldn't mind going to cinema to watch this.
Yeah. I need to warm up to going back to the cinema. I can't be.
You need to get jabbed, mate.
I'm not even bothered about that. I'm not even bothered about that. I'm just gotten lazy. I got too accustomed to my couch.
Salim was just saying, like, unless you take the jab, you're gonna have to take the train to my place.
Bastard. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
July, I think.
Looks great. The only bone of contention I have with this is Lena Headey does not look old enough to have a daughter who is the age of the main character.
She could have been a teenager.
She could have been, but she does not look it though.
Yeah. Another trailer from a director I enjoy thoroughly, but this looks nothing like any of his previous films.
Which is good.
Last Night in Soho. By Edgar
Wright. Got everything. I don't even know what to say of this. It's first I'm watching it. I'm thinking, am I watching like a movie of Quantum Leap here?
Yeah, time travel's got what's the actress called?
So her name
Anya
Anya Taylor-Joy. Last seen in Netflix's the chess game, the chess show.
Check Queen's Gambit. There you go.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, the chick with the eyes. Yeah, this looked cool, man. Some weird sort of time travel elements in some way, but we don't really know how. Is it a haunting? Is this young girl actually occupying the body of this 60s singer? I'm not sure. It's very mysterious. It's got like horror thriller elements, but it looks good.
It looks very stylish, as usual, from Edgar Wright.
Yeah, but not in a goofy way. It doesn't look nothing like any of the Cornetto movies or.
No. I noticed they go from the director of Baby Driver. They don't reference any of like the Cornetto films or Scott Pilgrim.
But why? Because they're all great. They're all great. Edgar Wright hasn't made a bad film as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, great. But like I would probably put Baby Driver at the bottom of the list to like all these other films. Maybe above This Is the End, or no, The World's End, or whatever it was, because that one was a bit.
compared to the other two, it was bad. It's a good film, but it's just don't.
I see this is also got Terrence Stamp in it, General Zod, the original General Zod.
Wow, he's still going.
I actually thought he'd passed away.
So if you'd asked me, I would have said the same thing.
That guy, let me have a look. He was born in 1938.
Wow.
Man is still rocking it.
This has to be the first film he's made in a long time, man.
I think he's been like, I know he used to do some voice work in like Smallville. Yeah, I think he was a voice. Yeah. Well, I know he was in His Dark Materials in 2020. He was in.
Right to watching it.
I watched one episode and I'm never going back to it. No, his IMDb stuff shows like he's been busy.
Been working. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Mel. Let's get to the big one.
Right. So the big reveal for this week is obviously Kevin Smith's latest movie, Clerks 2. Clerks 3, sorry. No, we finally have it after waiting what seems like an eternity. The Eternals just dropped. It just dropped like that. Like there was like no teaser, no countdown.
Technically, this is a teaser trailer. That's what they're labeling.
Well, yeah, but sometimes they have like a teaser of the teaser, like say trailer coming in 2 days.
Yeah.
And hence this is what I said. Like when the other 2 trailers drop today, they're probably just getting drowned out from this.
Marvel Studios Eternals. Finally, we get to see it in motion properly. And it looks interesting. I haven't read the synopsis. I stayed away from that, which I probably will find out at some point.
The synopsis don't say anything. It says like the saga of the Eternals, a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shaped its history and civilizations.
Who or what is the antagonist? That's what.
No, there's nothing like that in the trailer. So they don't give you anything in the trailer.
You don't see that at all. So I'm curious to know what is it they're going to be battling against. What's strong enough to go against these ageless beings that what is around forever?
What is worse than Thanos?
Exactly.
Like, if they didn't come out for Thanos,
that's the first
out
thing
for something else.
I text when you threw the trailer.
You know what?
Like, what the frig were these guys doing when Thanos was kicking everyone's asses?
I wonder if they'll retcon Endgame now, where they'll actually show they were actually. We don't know, but whether either they were involved but we didn't see it, or they actually show them having a conversation like during that period.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to be like, we can't get involved. But no, because in the trailer it says they don't get involved in Earth's issues. Yeah, but Thanos is affected, didn't just affect Earth, he affected the universe. So
Thanos actually technically is an Eternal as well. I've been doing my research on
this. That is true.
Yes, he's like a mutant sort of like next generation type. Like where these original ones are like the actual original Eternals. The ones that come after them have another name. Oh, are they Celestials? No, the Celestials created the Eternals.
Yes, they're the big. Yes. We saw like little glimpses of them. They created the stones. The Celestials.
So I guess there's a possibility that there could be like a young Thanos in this, right?
They're definitely gonna have to refer to him at some point, in some way. So I'm curious to know how. But what the fuck are you doing?
The only other thing that I wonder is when they're saying that they don't get involved in the affairs of humanity, but they are going to have to this time. I wonder if it's something that's way before our time. Maybe it's like in the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, or something. That something happened and they had to take action.
And this movie ends with them all dying, and that's why they were in Infinity War Endgame, because there's none left.
But I tell you what, this trailer looked really good because like I said, it didn't give anything away. It basically is a real it's a tease in the real every essence of that word, right? The music for this was just great. They even mixed it in with like an old 60s tune. I had to go and like find out what that singer was. That's by a lady called Skeeter Davis from a track came out in 1964 for This Is the End or something.
Oh, This Is the End. Oh, yeah.
But they mixed it in with like the theme from what I'm assuming is from the film itself. The poster to this looks fantastic. I'm almost contemplating getting a copy of the poster and hanging up.
You're really into Eternals.
I've
never seen you this excited for
it's the return of normality and like stuff. And I was struck with a thought yesterday. I had like one of the worst thoughts I've ever had in my mind. Right? Imagine as painful as this is, right? I'm going to talk in real graphic detail here, folks. So you may want to look away. But imagine Infinity War came out in 2019, right? And then imagine the May 2020 where Endgame was supposed to come out. We could still be waiting for Endgame. I just had that thought yesterday. Can you imagine that timeline?
Imagine that. It might actually do killer when it eventually come out, because apparently Fast and Furious is killing overseas right now. It's already out in like China and some other places, and it's already crossed 100 mil. Like, it's doing.
Is it?
numbers.
I guess any film that's reasonably popular is going to kill it, right? Because there's nothing else to go and watch.
But other films that have come out that have reasonable, I can't remember any, to be honest, right now. But yeah, they have performed horrifically. But Fast and Furious has just been on fire. And even Quiet Place Part 2, apparently pre-sales are way higher than they were before the pandemic. So it's we could be in a good place now.
Yeah. Two other things I'll just mention about this. So apparently there's very little CGI for like the backgrounds and stuff, and there's a lot of it was apparently filmed on location.
Looked like it.
Yeah. And the second one is I really like the way and I think we saw this in WandaVision, and we've seen it. I think even in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they are now addressing the questions that they know the audience, things that we're talking about. So right at the end, where they go, so who's going to leave the Avengers now that Captain America and Iron Man are gone? You got like King of the North, Rob Stark, King of the North.
Then they just laughed. Me like,
but like, I mean, even what's her name, Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek, man, they look great in their outfits.
It's so strange to think Jolie's in a Marvel movie,
and she looks good, didn't she?
I'm not gonna say it's blew me away, but I'm not gonna say I didn't like it either. It's just because you didn't see anything, so it's hard to get excited.
Yeah, but then if you saw everything, you'd be like, I've seen like half the film now. There's nothing left. There's no surprises.
It's hard to get excited for just costumes, but I'm intrigued.
Didn't you just like this? It's some. If they hadn't had that conversation about the Avengers, and if they never put like Marvel, for most people, they would probably have no idea at the end of that trailer that this was a Marvel film.
Even Marvel fans, Eternals aren't exactly massively popular.
Yeah, but that's what I like about this. It's like we are seeing something. You know, like how when Guardians of the Galaxy came, that was something that was totally different for the MCU. Again, we are now doing something different. And something potentially a lot more epic, right? We're telling this story that about like these beings that came to Earth at the dawn of mankind.
Yeah, we see them in the Gates of Babylon.
Yeah.
We see them in all various different cultures and places around the world, which answers the question why, compared to how they are depicted in the comic books, why they've kind of given them this multinational United Colors of Benetton casting, because they need to be part of all these different cultures. So it makes a lot more sense now. But yeah, I just want to know what the fuck they're fighting against. That's what I want to know. What is the antagonist? What's the danger?
All will be revealed soon in November.
I could probably just find out in 5 minutes if I Google it, but
apparently even the comic book, there aren't that many actual issues of it, right? Apparently, like the current run is like only like the 4th or 5th like incarnation of the Eternals.
Yeah, because they get cancelled because they're not popular. Which
I think they will become very popular after this,
if they do it right. So Jesus, man, we took a long time going through trailers. A lot of them this week.
Yeah, right. Let's race through some of these news items then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go real fast.
Right, Mr. Henry Cavill. We do like Henry Cavill on this podcast. He apparently is in talks to star. I don't even know they were doing this. Doesn't surprise me. A reboot of Highlander.
See, originally it was in talks, but I'm starting to see news stories say that he is gonna be Highlander now.
I'm very conflated on this. I would like to see his take on Highlander, but B, the original Highlander film is so good.
The first film, but it's not like there isn't room for improvement. Christopher Lambert, you can't understand half of his fucking lines that he delivers in that film. It's like there is definitely room for improvement in this.
I'm sure there is. Well, I mean, if they actually
Sean Connery, the Spanish Egyptian who has a Scottish. Come on, man. There's so much you could fix.
It probably is, but the actual film itself is still a pretty damn good film. I mean, the sequel sucked, from what I
The
remember.
sequels, plural, the TV shows. No,
And
even
the
the one
TV
where
show.
no, it is bad. It
I
is
don't.
bad.
I've never watched it, but I've heard like it's like a
It's
middle of the
not.
road.
It sucks.
It's actually on Amazon Prime, if I remember correctly.
We should watch the pilot. I think there was 2 TV shows. I think there was one with a female one as well. Yeah. So and also the director, I forgot to write it down here, but he's one of the John Wick guys.
Oh,
So we got that sort of level of action. So this could be cool as long as they got a good solid script. This could be really interesting. Playing a different
Yeah.
Highlander, it wouldn't be probably isn't going to be McLeod. It'd probably be someone else, but still.
you know, like for a concept for a thing where it says there can only be one, there's a hell of a lot of fucking like ones.
Mortals, yeah. Did you ever watch the anime ones?
Oh, I don't think I have. Was there an animated show? of
Yeah.
Highlander?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's an adult oriented
Yeah.
show, and it's not
There
a
were
kids one where they're
There were
chopping
films.
people's
I
heads
think there's
off.
like 2 or 3 films. Yeah, it was
Oh.
good. It was good. Worth watching.
Are they going to have the Queen soundtrack though?
Oh, come on. You can't replicate that. But even though I was saying that, I think Queen only had like 2 or 3 songs. They just spread it out. They just padded
That's
the
like
film
half
out.
a soundtrack.
Crazy. But I'm into this. Like Cavill, got John Wick action with the swords. Like that could be so cool, man. Just give it a good script. Please give it a good script. Yeah.
I'm assuming the fact that he's signed on, the script must sound interesting, or the concept must sound interesting.
It's Highlander, man. Of course he's gonna sign on.
Yeah.
Fuck it. He ain't Superman no more. He don't give a fuck.
Right. So next we have, this is one that you've put down. So apparently they're making a story of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the actual story of the making of that film is being turned into a film. It's not a documentary either, right?
No, it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. Apparently, the process of making that film was a nightmare. People hated each other. People died. Things were going wrong. They had no budget. Police were being called on them because the police thought they were making a snuff film. Remember, this is like back in the day before the establishment of horror films like this. Like, it was just a whole calamity. Fuck, anything that could go wrong did go wrong. And they're just turning it into a comedy, which I'm here for, man.
Does sound very interesting. Have you seen the title of the film?
I haven't. What's this?
This is called Chainsaw Confidential.
Love it. Love it. So I'm here for that. I haven't read out. Is it they cast anyone yet? From what you're seeing?
I can't see casting, but it's been written by a chap called David Dubos, and it will contain all the fun, horror, and craziness from the making of the original film, which cost $140K to make.
Oh man, fuck. Yeah, I'm here for that.
Yeah, interesting. I think there seems to be a few others of this coming, because there's obviously that film about the making of The Godfather that they're dramatizing as well, that we spoke about a few months ago.
Yeah, I wonder what was that process like?
A lot of films, I was gonna say, a lot of films have like this really tortured process that we never really hear about. Or if we do, it's like years afterwards.
Yeah, they should be doing this. Forget Godfather, man. No one's ever talking about that. But Apocalypse Now is supposed to be in a clusterfuck. Make a movie about that. About the process of making that shit. Timothée Chalamet, the guy who's going to be Dune. And he was in that Netflix King thing. Yeah, good actor, really good.
Yeah,
but is he good enough to play Willy Wonka?
Oh, that's a tough act to follow, right? Because you are essentially following what's his name? Oh God, I forgot his name now. I was going to say it's Kelly. No, Kelly something, right? Come on.
I'm waiting for you to say it. Come on. He has to go search it.
Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, how could I forget? Give me 1 second. Oh, Willy Wonka. It was Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Oh my
Shame
God.
on us.
What is
the legend?
What is the matter with us today?
Hey man, out of sight, out of mind. It's been decades, man. He's
still alive, no, both him and Richard Pryor passed away. He passed away in 2016.
So yeah, so he disappeared from public life a long time ago. So
yeah,
but he's a Gene Wilder, man. Even the great Johnny Depp couldn't replicate that when he tried to do it with his
Yeah.
Willy Wonka.
Do you still see the meme used? Or I don't know if you've ever seen it, where I think he's just sitting like this with his cane. They go,
Yeah.
"Do tell me more."
Yes, yes. The thing is, when I think of Timothy Chalamet, he evokes more of a Johnny Depp version of Willy Wonka
Yeah.
than what Gene Wilder did. Like, you need comedic timing to be able to play that guy. Like, I just don't know what the fuck.
Who would you cast as Willy Wonka?
I don't think you can, man. Gene Wilder's too unique.
Yeah. I can't think of any actors today.
You'd have to go in a completely different direction and make it a full-on comedy and just get like a Seth Rogen or someone to do it. You can't actually have a proper.
I know what. Bring back Chris Tucker.
But yeah, this is going to be like a prequel, so I guess we're going to see his rise to get into the point where he.
Oh, hold on a minute! This is a prequel.
Timothy Chalamet is looks like he's 15 years old, so of course it is.
But he was the King of England. Don't matter.
And who was a teenager? Who was a teenager?
So yeah,
this is.
I thought this was going to be like a remake.
No, it's supposed to be how he got to that point of owning
Who the fuck cares?
chocolate factory. Well, obviously there's an adventure. Something went down, and he won out.
Okay, my interest just went.
Yeah.
Right, and I just added this other story because I saw it yesterday.
Is this Perv Report stuff?
Huh?
Is this Perv Report stuff?
It's not Perv Report stuff. It's more like he got outed as a perv. He's been in Kevin Spacey we're talking about here.
Yeah.
He's been in seclusion. I say seclusion. He did release a few YouTube videos.
He's tried to make videos feeling like, yeah, they've forgiven me. I can come back out now. And everyone's like, go away.
Do you remember that first one from Christmas, like a few years ago?
The one that was like,
House of Cards Frank.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
Oh. So Kevin Spacey, who got outed a few years ago for I don't know what the correct terminology here is, but
being a
obviously
hitting on inappropriately. I think the Star Trek actor said that he was like, what, 15
I don't think it was hitting on inappropriate. I think it was a like more than that.
Yeah, he was like touching him off
full on. Yeah,
all sorts of shit.
Then also all the stuff also came out about apparently he was just a nightmare on set. Right, he would harass all the male like PAs and like if you're a young male on set, your life was hell because of this man. So he's been absent from the acting world for a while. Hasn't actually had any charges like stick on him. Like he hasn't been to court, and I think he has been to court, but it hasn't been like nothing has been proven against him somehow.
I think most people aren't looking to do well, I don't know, but I'm presuming most people aren't necessarily pressing charges. They're just speaking out and letting people know.
So obviously he still needs to work, still needs to put food on the table and that kind of stuff. So he
doesn't.
We have no idea what his financial standings is. For all we know, he could have had like money spending habits like you won't believe. Like Michael Jackson like would just spend all his money, right? Kevin Spacey's got a new film. I'm not entirely sure what this is, whether it's an Italian film, because it's an Italian production. So he's going over there, you know, like where they do like but the ironic thing about this film is he's a detective who essentially has been accused of being a pedophile.
He's just leaning into it, man. He's like, fuck it.
You would think your publicist or your agent would say, I'm not entirely sure this is a role you want to take.
It's like, what choice do I have? I can't work nowhere else. Screw it. What would be the pièce de résistance if Roman Polanski was directing this? Mo's choking on his water. Was that the gin?
It's like, what has Europe come to, eh?
I know, fuck. Kevin Spacey, what the fuck? Mini news.
Right. Go for it.
Lucasfilm. Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic, looking like it's no longer in development. This is one of those shows that they unveiled when they had unveiled their Star Wars slate. This is going to be one of their big ones. And I guess because of the Gina Carano issues and scandals, I figured, fuck it, it's not worth it.
I think they were talking about this quite a while ago, saying that it kind of looked like this was probably done and dusted after all that kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Surely they could have just brought in someone else. Like, it wasn't like she was this big star just because she was recognizable from Mandalorian. It's like they could have just replaced her.
Well, unless they're going to do what they did with James Gunn, right? Basically shelve the whole thing, wait till it all blows over, and then bring him back or bring her back.
Yeah, true. Or, this means money could go to something else, another show, or spread out between one of the shows we're already shooting.
Well, I think that Dave Filoni now has he's been now promoted to like the Star Wars general or something within at Disney.
Yeah, TV.
So I think So I think maybe he's rejigging stuff around. I guess COVID's probably playing a part on some of this as well, because I think like the Obi-Wan show was delayed. Now it's filming, so probably moving things around and probably decided actually something's got to give.
Yeah. Shame for all the actors that would have been that would have had a nice little payday off of this, all because Gina couldn't stop posting bullshit.
Oh, I'd be very careful. I don't think we want to get into like who's right and who's wrong here.
Oh, we're not picking sides. Sometimes you just need to know when to put Twitter down.
Oh yeah,
different.
Your life is just better if you just don't go on Twitter. Exactly. Oh, that almost rhymes as well.
There you go. That's a T-shirt right there. We just start doing merch. Superhero news. Kevin Feige now explains it was a mistake casting Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One in the MCU.
I saw this headline the other day. I couldn't be bothered to read the article.
You only figured it out now?
But the thing is, like, you watch that film and she's so good in that role. It's not like it's not like she was terrible and you kind of think they could have picked anybody else.
It's not the point. It's the fact that they're taking a role away that's always been traditionally Chinese from, Chinese actors. Kung Fu is a rarity. Like when that casting announcement went up when Kung Fu was first announced, which I think is coming back this week, so we're gonna have to jump back on that now. I bet all the Asian actors that live within that vicinity of LA were like, finally, something that we're guaranteed to get. Because they don't get cast for a lot. So for them to miss out on, he says that they thought they were being like cool and edgy by going against it because the character was always a bit of a racial stereotype. So they thought, we'll go Irish, ancient Irish, and everyone will love it. Didn't work out that way.
Did they actually get backlash over it?
Yeah.
I don't actually remember much. It must have blown over really quick.
People liked Tilda, but it was always something that people did talk about for a while. Yeah,
because it was I think it was my first introduction to Tilda Swinton. I don't think I recall seeing her in anything prior to that.
Oh, Mo, you're missing out. This is one of the greatest actresses of her generation.
Oh, she was very good. She really like
Doctor Strange. I mean, in the good films she's been in, like legit. Like, not that Doctor Strange ain't good, but for an actress of her caliber, she's done shit that. Yeah,
I guess this is why he basically just getting with the times, right? Looking at what's actually happening out there and saying, well, actually,
fucked up.
No, well, I don't necessarily know as a fuck up, right? Because when that film came out, 2017, I think a lot has happened in that 4-year period.
Yeah, but everyone said it then. It's not like it's just a new thing, so you should have known it. DC's Batgirl movie will be helmed by the directors of Bad Boys for Life. Now, at first I laughed at this, but then I remember that people liked Bad Boys for Life. I haven't gotten around to watching it.
Did they?
But it got semi-decent reviews. It did very well financially. Yeah. It was a success. I think Salem saw it. He said he liked it.
I watched it, and I'll tell you, I didn't even bother talking about it on the show.
Really? Wow.
I watched it over Christmas or New Year's, and I thought, every week I had so many things to talk about. I thought I'll keep it in reserve. For the 1 week where I haven't watched anything. And I still can't be asked to talk about it.
Wow. That bad.
It's a pale shadow of an imitation of the original film.
Damn. So fuck Batgirl is doomed then. Warner Brothers made another one of their beautiful decisions.
It was competently directed. Just the film itself was just nonsensical and stupid.
Just soulless.
Martin Lawrence, they should have given him an extra 6 months to get into shape because that man should not have been put in front of the camera looking like that.
That's himself to blame.
Yeah. You know the punishing schedule they make women go through? He should have had to go through that.
It ain't like he didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
Some people just can't put down a bacon. Them cupcakes.
Yeah, right, what we got next?
DC, more. Developing an Injustice animated film. I'm looking forward to this.
Right, tell us about Injustice.
Injustice is an alternate telling of DC universe based on the games, but there was also a comic book series of it. And it's in a world where Superman is tricked into killing Lois by the Joker and his child.
Yes. Yep.
And in doing so, he basically goes a little crazy and turns into like this benevolent dictator ruler. Basically, the direction Zack Snyder wanted to go in the films,
right,
where we saw the glimpse of Superman being this evil. That's basically what Injustice would have been, where it's him with a select few DC heroes that fall in line with him, versus Batman and the other heroes that fall in line with him. And it's basically it's basically Civil War, the DC version.
Oh, okay, interesting.
With an evil Superman, but he's not evil, but he kind of is.
This kind of sounds like it could have also made a good actual live action film.
It would have been. I think that's what I think he actually admitted that that's partly where he got his inspiration. Snyder got some of his inspiration for that dark evil Superman.
RCO.
So yeah, seeing that as a full-on film, the game story is epic. The comic book, versions of it, so it could be really good. Really good.
Okay, look forward to that one. And when's that? Is that this year or next year then? Or they just announced it, right?
Probably next year.
Well, they do seem to churn out those DC films like every 3 months.
I know, there's a new part 2 of a Batman film. I haven't seen part 1 yet.
Yeah.
About to come out.
And lastly, I thought I'd like to add this one.
Have you gone back to those animated? You said you're watching one every week.
I haven't actually. I think I watched the first one.
I
think the very first one they did. And I say the very first. I don't mean like one from the 90s.
Yeah.
Because there are a few of those as well. I think it was a Superman one with
Doomsday.
With that's the one. Yes. Yeah. I added this one here because I thought this was quite funny. Batista is planning to hang up playing Drax after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it's because he goes he's hitting like 54, and he doesn't want to keep playing a shirtless character.
He is shrinking. He is he ain't like I was watching some old wrestling shit, and you see how big he was back then compared to how he is now. It's like that's what Batista should look like. I mean, that's what Drax should look like. And slowly, he makes sense. You get old, unless you want to juice up crazy.
Yeah, it's probably punishing, like trying to stay in that shape I mean, he's in better shape at 54 than I was ever in my whole entire life, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
And probably in better shape than I will ever be. But it must be difficult.
I think Rock turned 50, and he's bigger than he's ever been. He's bigger than he was when he was wrestling. That's saying something. That's crazy. Yeah, we got a little glimpse of him in not Shazam, in Black Adam. Little thing with him draped in this cloth in this hood thing. So finally, it's coming.
Film that's been in production for longer than this podcast has been on air.
Yeah, but I don't blame Drax for hanging out. But
I do hope we still he does then get other roles that make use of his talents. I mean, you said he was good in the Army of Darkness. The Army of the Dead.
He's fine.
He was, I mean, there was nothing in his acting that, said, great actor. Unlike when he plays Drax, where he just completely transforms.
Yes, that's the charisma. That's the thing.
Yeah, right.
We're done. Time to get into MCU revisit.
Right. I can't believe we're in the final run here.
Yeah. Well, I've still got a few to go. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Something which for a while I thought was never going to happen. Spider-Man in an official MCU movie. But the universe aligned and Sony decided to share their toys.
Do you remember the great Sony hack? Some of the emails that came out was about the fact that the two companies had been talking. Yeah.
Still didn't think it was going to happen.
And even after it happened, we still thought it wasn't going to happen again.
Yeah, because they were in the middle of doing the Andrew Garfield movie. So it was you're never going to go down. But
yeah, this thing is weird, right? Because we've had in the space of 16 years, we got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland.
Yeah. So loved it. Love Tom Holland. Like I know for you, friggin' Tobey Maguire is your definition of Peter Parker. Boo. Not that I don't like Maguire. At the time for those films he was good, but Holland is the purest version of what Peter Parker is as a comic book reader from back in the day. This is the guy. This is what Peter Parker is. The Joker, the young, that right age. This is it.
I think we're gonna have to revisit those Spider-Man films after we've done this. This came out in 2017, and I remember talking about that on this show. I didn't like the film when it first came out. I found it a chore to sit through. I struggled. I will say I actually did enjoy it a lot more this time round. I still found like there were just bits that kind of dragged a little bit.
Such as
the sequel was a lot better. I don't know what it was about this. It's really difficult to sort of like put into words as to like why this didn't sort of work as well as say like Ant-Man or Guardians of the Galaxy for me. It had all the great. I think maybe the villain was also quite not a great villain, but having said that, Michael Keaton did have some great scenes.
Yeah, that scene in the taxi,
especially in the car.
In the car, yeah, when he turns around, so I know who you are. Yeah. Love that reveal.
Yeah, it's like the lighting, the camera angles, like the everything just works so wonderful in that. I do love the relationship between him and May. He's on. It works really well in this film. I like the fact that they're not just slumbering in with like an old lady or whatever.
Yeah. It never made sense to me as a kid why Aunt May was so old.
Like his grandma.
It's supposed to be the sibling of your parents. It's like, it just seems really weird.
I had completely forgotten that that MJ is pretty much like just relegated to like a supporting character, and not the main sort of love interest.
Yeah, I don't. And there was always the whole thing when this came out: is this MJ the MJ? Is this Mary Jane? I'm not. I think they still refer to her as MJ in the next one as well. They never actually say Mary Jane.
No, in the credits, it's not. It's based. They tell you what the MJ stands for.
What's it say?
And it's not Mary Jane. It's does it say it here on IMDb? Let's have a look.
It just says MJ in there.
Zendaya. It just says. Oh yeah, so Michelle something. Michelle Jones, maybe, I don't know.
So what is that? Is that just them not wanting to commit? Is that just part of the contract with Sony that they kind of wanted to hold some things, some weird little loopholes that they wanted to keep hold of?
It just seems really bizarre, right? To give her the same initials.
Yeah.
But to call the character by a different name seems a little bit like weird.
Yeah. But I'm betting I love the relationship between Parker and everyone around him, Zendaya and his buddy. I forget the name, the big.
Is it Ben?
No, his uncle's Ben. He wouldn't be.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Ned. Sorry, not
Ned.
Ben.
Love him and they're together. Yeah. Especially how Ned finds out he sees him on the scene.
Oh yeah. No time wasting with that one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It gets to it, even at the very end when Aunt May finds out.
Can you imagine if this was like the third origin story we'd seen for like Spider-Man? I'm glad they didn't kind of go down that road.
Yeah, they did it right. They balanced it right. Because even when he popped up in Civil War, hit the ground running. He was already Spider-Man. Few little conversations. We already kind of established, how he got it. Everyone knows that Spider-Man got the abilities. Those movies are fucking $1 billion movies. Everyone's seen them.
So and they even talk about it in this, like I got bitten by a spider.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Tom Holland then?
I mean, he's a fine actor. He does Spider-Man very, very well. I mean, he probably was the best choice of all the actors available. I can't think of anyone else that will fill the role. He does both Peter Parker and Spider-Man really well. He does have that kind of youthful energy, but just for some reason, this film just doesn't completely click. I don't know why.
And you actually prefer the second one?
I did enjoy the second one. I saw the second one at the cinema during its opening run. I saw this at the cinema as well, though.
Yeah.
I think the second one was a lot more enjoyable. It just gets straight into like the whole Spider-Man mythos.
See, the second one's got a lot more comedy. Is that what you wanted from this one? More comedy?
I mean, this has got loads of comedy in it. I wouldn't say that the comedy in this is lacking.
It's interesting. I'm trying to pinpoint what it is that you're saying is lacking from this. You're not giving me no information.
I really don't know what to say. I think there is a great line from Tony Stark in there that really made me chuckle when he's talking about, I'm not really here, I'm watching some TV show or The Voice or something. And he goes, I'm trying to limit myself to 2 episodes a day, maybe 3 max.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I nearly forgot that Tony pops up in this quite a bit.
Yeah, and I completely forgot right at the end what happens with his aunt.
Yeah.
So is that addressed in the second film? I've got so little recollection of these films.
I'm not going to ruin it for you then. We're going to have to get to it. And
I'm going to have to wait a whole goddamn 4 weeks.
But no, I still enjoyed this. It's still fun. Still holds up for me. I think it was the right way to introduce Spider-Man. Because he had to ground things after what we'd had going into this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was good to have something that was just, your neighborhood Spidey, just dealing with, even though, it was kind of big, but still with a plane that was smashing through buildings at the end. But it's still pretty low level, low stakes compared to all the alien shit we had before.
What did you think of the actual villain? I think that might be a problem with this film, that the villain was just really lacking any presence in this film.
Possibly it could have done more, because we didn't get to see him as Vulture that much.
Yeah.
So maybe if they showed more Vulture stuff, him just doing other things, dealing with police and just kind of fucking them up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that would have been a lot more of his gang as well. But I do like the fact that they did villain, that we didn't do the same hobgoblin over and over again, or Venom, like the typical, route that they always repeat.
I kind of guess so, but
it's like with Batman always going for Joker all the time.
Joker,
he's got other villains that he can put him up against. So I do like that they didn't go that route.
Although I wouldn't mind seeing Dr. Octopus next time.
Well, we're gonna apparently.
Oh, are we? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. He's in the one,
he's
right?
cast. Yeah. He's cast in it. The version of it that you love, the same actor from the old one.
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely gonna have to do that rewatch of those 3 films then.
Yeah, crazy. So, will we ever get? Do you think we're ever gonna get Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom in this?
So this Tom Hardy's Venom. Ooh.
Tom Hardy. Do you think we're ever gonna have Tom Hardy going face to face with Tom Holland?
Maybe not in the mainline Spider-Man films. Maybe him in a Venom film.
Ooh. Probably just as a cameo as well,
or like a 1-round fight or something like that.
I don't even think they'll go that far. I think they'll be out of costume. It will literally be Hardy and Holland probably passing each other in the street and bumping into each other. Say, "Oh, excuse me, sir."
And Holland's spidey sense will be tingling, and Venom will be like tingling, but they won't know why.
Yeah, like, what's going on with that guy? That's it. That's all we'll get. Yeah, that's probably pretty much will be it. So Mo, what we got?
I'm just trying to remember, what were the were there any end scenes, post-credit sequences that were memorable, that had anything to do with everything that was going on?
I don't remember. I think I looked. Got the Aunt May thing.
I did watch them. Yeah. No, the Aunt May one was right before the end credits.
Yeah. I can't remember. I don't think I bothered watching it.
I'm pretty sure there were 2. Oh, the one right at the end after everything was like Steve Rogers doing like the PSAs, and he was just like, "How many more of these are there?"
Yeah. I think that was it. I think that was
not a mid-level. Was that okay?
Pretty sure that was the only one.
Right. So next week we have Thor Ragnarok, where shit just goes crazy.
One of the best.
Yeah. And we are then 2 films away from an Infinity War. We got Thor Ragnarok, we got Black Panther, and then we've got Infinity War. This actually, I don't know when Black Widow's coming out, but this actually almost looks like it's going to roll perfectly.
Yeah. We're not that far away from Black Widow, are we?
It's about
a month away.
Yeah, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 films left.
All right. Perfect timing. Okay, so Mo, how can they get in contact with us if they wish to do so?
Right, folks, if you want to email us, we are at tatmpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to tweet us, we are Talking Movies 3. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we are Talking at the Movies.
That's right, guys. Don't forget to check out YouTube, Voltron Network. Show love, subscribe, like, recommend us to your friends. Show love, man. Help us survive. So from here to Reese.
Me, Mo.
See you guys next week. Later.